Okay, guys, so we're going to get going. I am so excited about this call. Anita, I hope you know I adore you. I really do. And I adore her husband as well and her adorable family. And I've watched her, from, when she was a baby coach and rise up to this amazing leader. I've learned so much from her. She's one of those leaders that is just so open with the things that are working for her. She's not afraid to share those things so openly and honestly. And I've learned so much from you just over the last couple of years. And I messaged her because we're in the Superstar Diamond training, and it's not even a training, the message thread together. And we were asking about Instagram, and I'm still learning Instagram, and I was asking her and a couple others questions, and she was just so open and freely giving, tips of what's working for her. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go stalk her on Instagram. So I went over there, Anita, and I was looking at your Instagram like, dang, like you're so real. That's the first thing that I love. Like, you're just so real, but you get so many comments, and it's like genuine, great interaction. It's not the spammy comments that, some of us might get, and we're like, thanks for the support, right? It's genuine people who are wanting to connect with her. And I said, this girl's onto something. And Instagram it's a whole nother world, you guys. And the thing that I love even more, and I told you guys this in our group, is that Anita started on Facebook like us. She was a big page girl, mostly on Facebook, and had to completely move over to Instagram. And so we can all relate to that, right? So a couple things about her stats before I hand it over to her. She, first and foremost, is a wife and a mom. She is a 15-star diamond coach, a 2-time top 10 team. She almost didn't say that. I was like, you've been in the top 10 twice. You need to share that stat. 5-time elite coach and team. She's a $1 million club earner. So what that means is cumulative earnings of over $1 million in her business since she's been a coach. And she's hit Success Club for 79 months in a row, you guys. 79 months. Can you imagine that? If you do that math, that's a lot of years. That's a lot of years. So, Anita, I am so excited to hear from you. I'm going to hand it over to you and start taking some notes.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for that introduction, and I adore you as well, Meg. You were one of the coaches when I got started. I was like, what is she doing? I have to stalk her and watch and figure it out. And you've always been so nice to me. So I appreciate that.
That's because I adore you.
Thank you. Okay. So tonight I'm going to talk to you guys about Instagram. And just like Megan, I was Facebook girl, like Facebook page, Facebook personal page. I built my business starting out on Facebook personal page. Went to page, spent an astronomical amount of money on building that thing. I actually just went to check my budget. This is going to freak you guys out. Don't let it freak you out because there's free ways now to do things. This is back when I was testing things out. I spent $70,000 building 118,000 likes. Yeah, crazy. And ads and things like that. And none of it was duplicatable. None of it was sustainable. So there was my lesson on that. So I will tell you why I went to Instagram in just a second, but I want to tell you guys a little bit about myself and help you to kind of level the playing field, help you understand I'm just like you guys. Started this business 7 years ago, which may sound like a long time to you guys, but to me, it's like yesterday. I feel like a new coach every single day. I'm in the trenches just like you guys, trying to figure out what the heck's working. And I started in 2012, had 200 Facebook friends, no Instagram, no Facebook page. And I was just running off of my very small warm market. I had a new baby. I lost 70 pounds with Chalene Extreme and with Insanity. And I just started sharing that on my Facebook personal page and on my then starting to go onto my page. But I shared that and invited to my challenge group. I did everything on the business activity tracker, which I have sitting right here, the new Success Club system. I live and die by this thing. I love it so much. And I've been using it for 7 years, and it's so simple. And what's great about it, hand it over to your coach. It's duplicatable. You don't have to say, hey, what I do is a magical unicorn potion and you'll never figure it out. Ha ha. Like, that's not what this is about. This is about how can I get, you know, coach 1, 2, and 3 to Success Club and beyond. Like, that's your goal. Okay. So I noticed very quickly that with my, with me sharing my health and wellness journey and being authentic, being my real self, I started to build a business, and I started to have people say to me, hey, I've been in your challenge group and I want to do what you're doing. That's when things sort of changed for my business. I was very retail heavy. I was selling a lot of people challenge packs and back then DVDs and Shakeology. And I wasn't making a sustainable income. It was like $200 here, $150 there because of all the retail. And then those retail commissions started to get pretty consistent. And then one day after, I think it was like a month of having been a diamond, and guys, it took me 10 months to get to diamond, by the way. And so everybody takes a different amount of time. I've got coaches that take 30 days. So it just depends, but it took me 10 months and I got to diamond. I started having these 2 working coaches on my team, and they started hitting Success Club by using this. And I made my first $500 paycheck. And I was like, okay, so I just need to keep doing that. That's what I need to keep doing. I need to fill my challenge groups, help them fall in love with what we do, turn them into coaches, give them the business activity tracker, have them run with it. Boom. And that's how my business went from 10 months to diamond, and then from diamond to 8-star at 18 months. Like I figured it out. I was like, oh shit, here it is. This is what it is. It's seriously that simple. Run with it. And then I just poured my heart and my soul into my social media. Like, that was my biggest priority outside of telling my coaches exactly what it is that I'm doing. But there are always learning curves. There's always bumps in the road. And so I built to Million Clubs, or what circle, or whatever the heck we call it. I made $1 million as a coach. Made $1 million in about 4 years. And I had a multi-6-figure income, and everything was great. And I was relying on Facebook. And then all of a sudden I wasn't recruiting anybody. Like, I went from Success Club 50 every month without a problem, was signing up coaches, 20, 30 coaches a month from Facebook, no problem at all, to begging people, to not having anybody. And I was like, oh, no. So, and Beachbody had gone through like a rebirth with Beachbody on demand and going from DVDs to the whole on demand setup. So I was kind of feeling my way through that too. And a lot of life happened. And I was kind of like, okay, I got to figure out, there are coaches in this business who are crushing it right now. If you look at the top, you know, on the Team Beachbody 411 page, when we do the national wake up call, they'll list the top producer or the top Success Club point earners, and they're killing it on Instagram and Insta stories. And I feel like the reason they're killing it is because they have been on Instagram for a while, and they've been building this momentum and building their business. And so I painfully and slowly moved my business to Instagram. I still post on my Facebook. Again, used to be 99% of where I got all of my customers from. And now I get 99% of my customers and coaches from Instagram. I am finally at a point where I'm recruiting 10 to 15 coaches a month from Instagram. And it took me about 2 years to figure it out. I'm really stubborn. I hate asking people questions and bothering people. Like, I don't want to be like, hey, can you tell me how to do this? So I always do, like, I'm like a dude. I will figure out how to do it on my own, and I will take forever, and I will make a million mistakes before I ask somebody how to do it. So now that I've figured it out, I can tell my coaches how to do what I'm doing, and hopefully tell you guys what I'm doing, kind of give you my formula for whatever the heck I'm doing. And I hope that it takes off for you. But the lesson I want you guys to walk away with is never get complacent ever on anything. I thought Facebook was the jam. I thought I was set up. Like, I did it. I have this great business. I have a great social media following. And then it was like overnight birds chirping, like nothing. So I went and I was like, okay, what are these guys doing that are building multi-million-dollar businesses right now? What's the difference? And it's been a huge shift to Instagram. Okay. So that gives you kind of that little bit of motivation and incentive. Now, this doesn't mean you can't build on Facebook. I still have coaches who do really great with their warm market on their personal Facebook page and on their like page. This is just my experience and why I changed over to Instagram. So, and then also I've got coaches on my team who are 22 to 32 who are on Instagram more. And it's just sort of like this age difference thing now. Like I joke with my husband, I'm like, I'm 33. Does that qualify me as like Aunt Anita on Facebook? Or does that, I mean, am I cool and hip enough to be on Instagram? What's the deal here? So all my cool and hip coaches, I was like, so what are you guys doing? And they're like, we're doing Instagram. That's what's working for us. I'm like, okay, well, Grandma Anita is coming. Just give me a little bit. I'll figure it out. So the main thing I've learned from Instagram is there are no set rules. Like the sky is the limit. You can get as creative and have as much fun as possible as you want with it. But I will say the new Success Club system is the reason my Instagram is where it is right now. Because it does outline the daily Success Club system, and it's updated in the coach office. But it says update IG and FB story throughout the day. There's a reason there's a big chunk of that in this. This was created by Kim Carver's crew, and they interviewed coaches who were crushing it and what they were doing, and this was the average activities. And so basically, you guys, I've turned my Insta stories into a reality television show. I post on that. Please go follow my Insta stories. I just have to warn you, I will invite you to my challenge group. I invite everybody. You're just going to get invited. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. But you're going to follow me, and my assistant is going to invite you. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. But it's a reality television show. Go follow fit_happy_mom and click on my Insta stories. I post the most basic stuff. It is mind-numbing, but it is motivating for people who are not where we are, right? We're coaches. We have the motivation. We are drinking our Shakeology. We have the secret potion to being amazing, and that's being a coach, right? So we have that, but other people don't really have what we have. We don't have that lifestyle is not innate. Like that's not something you're born with. So people love following my page simply to know, like, is Anita going to get up and have her Energize this morning? Her crack juice is what I call it, my crack juice. Is Anita going to make her Shakeology ice cream today? Is Anita going to do her workout? If Anita can do it, I can do it. I'm going to go do it. That's kind of what you want people to do. And so anytime somebody communicates with me from my page and tell me why they're following me, it's because they can count on me. They know I'm consistent. I show up every day, and they know that I'm going to inspire them. And guys, I am not a comedian. I too think I'm the most boring individual in the universe. I know what you're thinking. There's nothing to share. I'm so boring. Who cares about me and my dog? I'm single. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I have no friends. Like no one cares. I promise you someone cares. People care. Because if you're doing the vital behaviors, you've got something to share, and people will be inspired by it. So that's all I do is I just do the vital behaviors, and I share that on my Insta stories, and I am consistent and I'm reliable. So every single morning I'm scooping my crack juice into my shaker cup. I'm shaking it up. I'm singing stupid songs. I'm working out, and I'm posting things about my kids. It's really that simple. And people love it. So know that that's going to be your job. If you really want to be successful on Instagram, Insta stories is where it's at. So let's rewind and talk about how to get followers on Instagram. Now we know Insta stories, that's where it's at. You need to be posting. I suggest 1 to 2 posts a day on your feed. But how do you get followers? So I'm going to tell you guys my top ways that I get followers. And the number one best way is the 5-3-1 method. So you're going to Like 5 photos. You're going to, whenever the chat pops up, I get like super bad ADD. So I'll answer the questions at the end, but I do 5 likes. So I have like 5 photos of a person's, I comment on 3, and I follow them once. And I do that for 25, 30 minutes a day. And that's how I have built more of a genuine, real following. While I don't currently recruit like 40 plus coaches a month or anything crazy like that, or I think I recruit 5 to 10 serious working coaches. They're serious. They're working, serious lifers who have been following me for a while. And every time I ask, how'd you land on my page? How'd you end up following me? You liked one of my photos and commented, and then I went and followed you. So how do I find the people to do the 5-through-1 method with? I challenge you to sit down and write out as many hashtags that apply to you as possible, or geo tagging or locations. So I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I know my niche market is moms. That's because that's what I am. I post about it all the time. So I will go and look at anybody that checked into the Grand Rapids Children's Museum. I'll go and I'll look at anybody that checked into Rebounders or checked into Red Robin, just things that are local to me and things that are mom friendly. I do that because I am a Grand Rapids person and I'm a mom, and I feel like the easiest people to invite are people that have some sort of connection to you. So I invite a lot of Grand Rapids people just because I've looked at that. I've gone and done the 5-3-1 method with people in my area. So that's my favorite way. And for those of you, I don't know, everybody's at a different level of success in this business, but I've always operated under the thought process of once you become an expert, hand it off. So I delegate that 5-3-1 method to my assistant who I found on Upwork. I pay her $5 an hour. She does the 5-3-1 method for 2 hours a day for me. So I don't even do it anymore. I figured it out. I mastered it, and then I handed it off to her, and I pay her $10 a day. That's nothing. Like $10 a day for me at this point. I'm not saying that's nothing for everybody. That's a lot of money for, but for the percentage of income that I'm earning, that is very small to have somebody do all that work for me. So it's definitely a great way to invest money in your business in the future when you're ready, when you are starting to earn an income. But don't feel like you have to do that now. You can do the 5-3-1 method yourself. But if you are somebody who's like full-time coach, you're star diamond and above, and you feel like you can hand that off, that's an easy thing you can hand off to somebody. You just give them your hashtags and you explain the 5-3-1 method, and they're off. So that's the way I do it manually. Now there are other ways you can pay to have things done from another company, but I will warn you, they are not the highest quality leads, but they're numbers. And sometimes you just need to beef up your following and make it look bigger. So, and I give this tip to you guys with some caution. I'm only telling you this because to get the swipe up method on your stories, you need 10,000 followers. So if you are wanting to aggressively get higher number of followers, then this will make more sense. So there are a few different programs I used. Number one is IG Wildfire. And guys, these cost money, just to warn you, $39.50 a month for IG Wildfire. But they do basically the 5-3-1 method, but they have a machine that does it. So it's not a person. So that's why it's not as high quality, but still people target it. So the IG Wildfire is a great one. And then I also use Insta Ninja. Hold on one second. I forgot what they're called. And it's important I give you the right name because they're really great. They're in my email. It's mysocialninja.com or mysocial.ninja. Just look at My Social Ninja. They do a lot of like the 5-3-1 method for you. They've got machines, people, systems. I don't understand how it all works, but I pay $39.99 a month for them. And since I have signed up for them, I have gone up 3,000 followers I think I signed up 3 months ago. That's pretty good. Again, they aren't the highest quality, but they still are something, and they'll get you higher numbers. The second one was My Social Ninja. Yeah. And then there's apps. There's an app called Captivate. Captivate's a good one, although it can be a little bit tricky because it does unfollow. So it'll do that follow and unfollow thing. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. And I feel like that's kind of sketchy. People see that and they're like, she unfollowed me. So I don't know. But those are a few. Then there's apps where you can straight up buy likes and followers. Again, they're not very high quality either. And I've made a huge mistake. I bought almost like 15,000 followers from this app. It's called Followers Plus. None of them were real. So my engagement went down. I was like, oh man, and you can't get rid of them. You're stuck with them. So anyway, be careful with things like that. Okay. So that's how you get the people. And in any business, your main priority is to get all the people, get them all seeing your stuff, connecting with you. You're doing your daily activity tracker, you're doing your social media thing, and you're getting all these people to follow you. So how do you turn all this new action and excitement into business? How do you make money from all this? So yeah, you're getting relationships built. Your Insta stories is off the charts fun. Like you are singing into your shaker cup and dancing, with your workout, and people are liking it. So what do you do? So this is when you introduce the calls to action. So if you go to Fit Happy Mom, that's my page, and you look at my Insta stories, there's calls to action everywhere. I sprinkle calls to action on my workout video, on my food. I even did a little here's a little bit about coaching. And you can do just about anything with your Insta stories using the swipe up method, have it linked to a Google form or a Jot form, doing polls really do great for me. If I I try not to do one positive, one negative. I do two positives. So I'm interested in your challenge group. I have questions. Please message me. I'm not interested. I'm interested. Because then you're going to see all the people that are not interested. So polls work really great. You can swipe up and look at all the people who responded to your poll. And so how do you get these? If you're brand new to Instagram and you don't know where to get them, when you go to your Insta stories, there's this little piece of paper at the very top. You click on it and it'll give you options to add things into your stories, like pictures, GIFs, polls, questions. Have fun with it. But I try to slide a call to action in everything. If I'm making my Shakeology, and I make it into ice cream every day, and people love that. So I will put, do you want the recipe for this? Yes or no? And when people put yes, I message them an invite. Hey, I saw that you wanted the recipe to my Shakeology ice cream. Great. Do you use Shakeology? No. Great. Let me tell you how you can get involved in what I'm doing. So everybody gets an invite from that. So also, everybody that likes, comments on any of my posts or follows any of my Insta stories, they get an invite. Everybody. I have almost 70,000 followers on Instagram right now. All 70,000 better have an invite eventually. My assistant now does that too. She does my invites for me. Here's what my invites say. I gotta plug my phone in. Hi, I noticed that you followed, liked, commented, whatever their activity was on my post. And I realized we've never worked together in my virtual boot camp. And most people follow me for fitness advice, tips, and motivation. So I figured, why not just ask, would you be interested in details about my virtual boot camp? So that goes to everybody, likes, comments, follows. And then when I get a new follower, I do a new follower message. Again, this is something my assistant does for me now, but when I first started doing this, I had to do it all my own to learn how to do it. But I would message, hey, thanks so much for following my page. I just noticed that you followed. People usually follow my page for fitness motivation. Are you also working towards any fitness goals? If they say yes, then you say, great. Would it be okay if I sent you details about how I coach my clients? And then I send details about my challenge group. And I can send to Meg the scripting for that, on how to do that. But that's it. That's everything I do for Instagram. So I'm inviting everybody to my challenge group. Also, I do calls to action on my page, like on my actual feed, not just my stories. And I'm going to do one tonight, actually. And I just did one earlier for my challenge group. But don't be afraid to post calls to action on there too. For a sneak peek, a challenge group, I try to post a call to action every week on that too. But really the magic, you guys, is behind the scenes. What is she doing behind the scenes? Every one of you are probably like following your top coach, your favorite coach, and wondering, what are they doing? What's the magic secret sauce? Well, I believe, and I am not like cranking out 500 Success Club points or anything like that. Like my goal is 30. So I like to sign up like 15 people, which is, in my opinion, very good. And so it's all about the invite. Everybody I grab a hold of and get on board, eventually they were invited at some point. And 9 times out of 10, they told me no at first. And then I followed up like crazy. I had a coach on my team tell me she followed up with her coach 56 times over the span of 3 years. And she finally joined as a coach and is now her top coach. 56 follow-ups. It takes the average person like 5 times of seeing something before they jump on board. So if you invited and then you gave up, that's on you. You got to keep following up, and you got to follow up with everybody. You got to keep lists of people you're inviting. Everybody has a different way of doing it. I like to use pen and paper. And the little flag button on Instagram, you can flag conversations. If I'm on the go, I flag everything where there's if people are like, yeah, I want information about your challenge group and we're talking, they get a flag. And then in 3 days, I go into my flags and I just follow up with them again. And everybody needs a follow-up. I promise you 9 times out of 10, the invite ends on deaf ears. They don't answer me, they ghost me, and I have to go back and I have to go and remind them about my message. And then they're like, oh, okay, I get it. So, but yeah, as far as doing posts, just get your inspo from this. The business activity tracker, if you get lost, you're like, I don't know what to do, workout and drink Shakeology, perfect. Use this as your map. Great, I'm going to post about that. My daily life, I'll post about that. Workout clips, celebrating your challengers before and after photos, things like that. Those are the posts. That's what you're going to say and share. And don't overthink it. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, people don't really like perfect. People like to see the messy stuff. I did a video of Warren playing in the bathtub and there was just junk everywhere. And I got a ton of messages from people saying, I'm just so happy to see that you have junk everywhere. And then like, there was one time that I was videoing Scarlett and Warren playing and I was yelling at them. And not like in a violent, aggressive way, but I was being a mom. I was like, get your stuff, let's go. And it was on my Insta stories and in the background of Eric's. And I got messages, oh my gosh, it makes me feel so much better that I heard you yelling at your kids, because I yell at my kids too, and it gave me mom guilt. But then I heard you do it, and I felt better about myself. Like, people like to connect and feel like you're real, and they don't want to connect with a fake Barbie doll. That doesn't make them feel connected, comfortable, or excited. But somebody that's real and just like you. So when I look at all the people that join my team, usually they're moms with tattoos. That's because that's me, and that's what I end up getting, because people, they like to follow what I've got. So you're going to attract you. So just be you, the best version of yourself, and share unapologetically, have fun with it. And I like to look at Instagram as like a little playground. It's just like my realm, my world now. So just kind of think of it that way. It's like a game. How many people can I 531 today? How many people can I invite today? How many people can I follow up today? And I don't really navigate away from Instagram. Like I flag everybody. I invite everybody through it. Also, guys, another great thing to do is create shortcuts. So you can load up your scripting into shortcuts. So you can just quickly send off messages to people that are shortcutted on your phone. Okay. There's a lot of questions. I think I should probably go see those. Yeah. And send your questions if you have questions. That's pretty much how I do everything. It's really that simple. Just have fun with it. Don't overthink it. What do you mean a shortcut? Okay. So I think it's called, my phone just died, so that's not going to be helpful, but it's called text replacement, I think. If you go into, I'm trying to think about how to do this and how to say it. Yeah, quick replies. I do not know how to explain that. Meg, do you know how to do shortcuts on your phone?
So, Christy, I'll post something in the Road to Team Builder, but I know that it's super simple. I remember Shalene saying it, but I don't remember the exact steps. So, Anita, I got you covered. Okay. I'll just post it in there.
That's because I've been on Instagram for 8 hours.
Okay.
So, let's see what other questions we got. Have you gotten blocked or warned while doing 531 method? Yes, I have. And the unfollow, and I don't really, yeah, my assistant does it now. And she'll do it for a couple hours, then take a break and then come back to it. But I get warned all the time. So you're going to get warned when it starts to look like it's too much, but it takes a lot to get to that too much point. I feel like.
I don't know. I sent like 13 messages earlier and it was like, you've been blocked from this. I'm like, what? There's only 13 messages.
People who follow you?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Maybe they're keeping an eye on my account. Who knows? Yeah. And then I'll ask your this question before we go through everyone else. So everyone on this call is either pushing towards Diamond or Star Diamond for Summit. So what was your method to get to Diamond that first time, if you can remember back all those years?
Oh yeah. Okay. So it was a wake-up call because I decided I wanted to make Beachbody my thing. Like I went from hobby coach to, okay, let's do this. Also, I realized that when you're a diamond, you make $18 a cycle compared to 14. So I did the math on that. I was like, well, crap, I'm leaving money on the table. I had one Emerald. I had one working coach. And I was like, oh, snap. Okay. And she was hitting Success Club. By the way, she's gone. She is not a coach. She's a real estate agent now. But so that just kind of gives you an idea how things change. But so she was signing up people with challenge packs, and I was starting to see the volume grow and starting to see a little bit of income generate. So then I made my husband Emerald on the other side. He just so happened to have just become a coach under me on the opposite side. So I made him Emerald by just signing up 2 coaches under him after I hit Success Club. And then she held Emerald and I went Diamond. And then of course I had the 8 coaches. When I did go Diamond, you guys, I had 56 active coaches. Yeah, it was a decision. Really was. I absolutely could have gone Diamond at any point. It just was a decision. Like, okay, now I just need to do it. I need to make Eric Emerald. I need to guide this new coach to Emerald, and we can get it done. And I've had this conversation with a lot of my leaders that want to go for Diamond. I'm like, you've got 5+ coaches. You hit Success Club every month. You know, let's get your husband to Emerald. There are so many benefits to that and reasons to do that I can get in a whole nother call about that. But running anything that does not give you a Success Club point through your spouse will make you more volume and commissions. So yeah, I have my husband, I was like, okay, she wants to do this. She's signing up people. Let me guide her to hit Emerald. And then I guided Eric and I went Diamond. So it's a matter of consistency and making that judgment call. Like, okay, I need to do this. For Star Diamond though, that's tough because that's kind of like putting, it's not in your complete control either. So, for Star Diamond, I had working coaches. It was just a matter of duplicating what I was doing. So keep it simple, Sally. I'm not going to say I was saying keep it simple, stupid. And I was like, that sounds terrible. Keep it simple, Sally. You don't want your coach to be like, oh my gosh, Rebecca is a unicorn. I can't do what she's doing. I'll never make it. She's got some sort of magic tricks up her sleeve that she's doing to hit Success Club. I can't do it. I'm done. That is a recipe for disaster. And that is what happens to you when you don't give your coaches the tools to succeed. So I make sure every new coach of mine gets on a call with me and we go through this. And I tell them it's seriously this simple. All I've done is this. And, obviously grow my Instagram, grow my following. I just did this and I 10x'd my efforts. I did this, but I did following, adding people to my network. I did it more. Inviting people. I don't invite 5 people. Trust me. I invite way more than 5 people. So for me to grow faster, it's just a matter of upping your efforts. And that's what I explain on my calls with coaches too. You want your coaches to be able to say, I can do what she's doing and have complete and total confidence that they can. And then you've got to believe in them. And you've got to talk to them like as if it's a matter of fact. Like, you're going to be diamond next month. We just got to make sure we're doing the right things to do it. Don't give them any doubt. Don't let them think that it's not possible. Don't put any doubt in their mind. It's amazing what you can do when you fully blindly believe in something. I hope that answers your question.
No, I totally did. Okay, let's see. We got quite a few questions. Let's see. I'm trying to find the first one because I feel like okay. Where's the first one? Oh, describe your follow-up process.
Oh, like I said, I use that flag in Instagram, or if I'm getting if they're really hot lead, but they're just not ready, I load them into my Google Streak. But really, guys, I flag every conversation that gets anywhere, and I go back the next day and I just run through my flags. And then
what do you normally say? Do you say like,
yes, hey, did you see my last message? That's it. Or, hey girl, I don't know if my breath smells bad or if I'm scary looking, but you're not answering me, and I'm not trying to freak you out, but I really think that what I've got going on is going to be great for you.
I love that.
Funny. Have fun with it.
I love that. That's something I would have to respond back to.
I get it. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. No, you're not scary looking.
That's hilarious. I love that. Okay, let's see. I struggle with what to put on my feed compared to stories. Do you have a schedule of what you do on your feed per week as per doing the vitals on stories?
I struggle. That's a place I struggle, is getting creative on my feed. Again, it's like, don't overthink it. When in doubt, go get inspiration. So I'll go search my top 5 favorite coaches to follow, and I'll go see what they're posting about. And I'll get inspiration. And 9 times out of 10, it's I'm working from home post. I'm working out post. I am working with my team post. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I can kind of generate my own version of that. So I don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel. If you're like, dude, I don't know what to post. I haven't posted in days. Go look at other people and just be like, okay, that's something I can do. I can replicate that.
For sure. And Trisha, something that I just recently did is I made 2 lists. And I've told some of you guys about these, but the first one was, what coaching has done for you so far. So a list of just what coaching has done for you so far. And then the other list is what you want it to be doing for you in the future, and just grab one of those so they can be like your little coach jabs throughout the day. Okay, so how did you build that confidence to be so real on social media?
That's a good question. I've always kind of been unapologetic about me. So I'm one of those people that dived in like from the start. I remember the very first video I posted on Facebook. I was 190 pounds. I was doing sumo burpees, doing Chalene Extreme. I had sweat all over my butt crack, and I hit my head on the TV, like where the TV was sitting, on the video, and I posted it anyway because I just didn't care. Like, I guess you just have to get over it. I don't know if there's a better answer for that.
No, that's perfect. You just have to be real, you know? And I think the more real you are, and when you see people accept that realness, it allows you to do it more often. So I love that you shared that. I love that.
I mean, I've had a lot of life happen while I've been a coach. Like, I've been pregnant a lot. I've had miscarriages and losses. I've had depression. I've had illnesses. Lots of people have passed away. And I share all that. When I had depression, that was a really hard thing to share because it's scary and it's something that's not really talked about that much. So, but what I've learned is when you come out with something real, you get a lot of feedback that's really supportive. And I've become addicted to that. Like, I love if I have a question, I turn to my Instagram and I get great answers and feedback, and it's like encyclopedia to me. So you got to look at it that way. Look at what you're going through can change a life. What you're going through can add value and be inspiring to somebody else and help somebody.
Absolutely. And it can be therapy for you too, you know, to see how those people support you. Okay. So Ashley said, does the views on your stories increase as you build your followers? Because I always have the same views of the same 100 people. Any tricks to get more views on stories?
So I'm trying to figure that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to figure that part out. And
did yours drop like after the Instagram, Facebook weirdness? Like mine dropped like crazy, my story views. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
I went down my house. Crazy. So I don't really have a good answer for that. Told me to on your posts to drive traffic back to your stories. So like I'll do a little workout video and then I'll say spy my full work, like, you know, more of my workout in my stories, or check out this recipe in my stories, and I'll drive people to my stories. But I haven't been able to get that number up. It was like, okay, so I have almost 70,000 followers. You'd think I'd have at least 20,000 people seeing my posts. I was like, the highest I've ever gotten is 5,000, and it's back down to like 3,000 since that whole thing happened. So I'm still very much so out here in the trenches trying to figure that out too.
Yeah, I don't know what Instagram did. I don't know. Okay, let's see. I think that's it. Guys, do we have any other questions? Any other questions on Instagram? I feel like these were great tips, and I think it's even more inspiring, guys, to know that she's just going out there and trying new things, being herself, trying new things, trying to figure it out the way that we all are, you know? And I think probably the most important tip was that the magic is behind the scenes. So when you're going and you're looking at these coaches, because I've done it too, Anita, where I'm like, what are they doing? Like, why don't I see anything? Like, it's not like the old school Facebook anymore where you can be like, yep, that's why she's being successful. It's like what they're doing behind the scenes. And that's what we're focusing on in this group, is just really inviting you guys behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's it. Anita, thank you so much. You are amazing and you are refreshing. And I can't wait to be able to speak to your team tomorrow. Guys, let's all say thank you to Anita.
And everybody, and I'll see you at Summit.
Yeah, Summit, walking across stage for Star Diamond stuff, right?
Exactly. Sounds good.
All right, bye guys. Anita, thank you.